Hi everybody, this is Camille and welcome to my channel. I am so sorry for neglecting everyone, not even coming up with a video. But I've been working on a lot of good stuff. And one of the things that I've been working on is a series called Why Can't I Lose Weight? And the reason why is because, as you all know, I'm a medical weight loss specialist. I work with physicians and I help people, patients, and my own private clients lose weight. So if you hear a bunch of rain, it is like storming here. I live in South Florida by the ocean and it is tropical city down here right now. Hurricane season. So I apologize for the noise. So I'm going to talk a little louder. And if you hear all the rain, I apologize, but I have so much value to share in this video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest weight loss blocks ever invented. I'm so passionate about this because I was duped. And you're duped, but it's not your fault. So I'm going to explain the lie, why this thing right here is a freaking lie. It's a liar. It's a liar. It's a liar. Pants on fire. Big time liar. It's kind of like, remember when you were a kid? Maybe you weren't like me, but if you can relate, take this story. I loved Santa. I loved Santa Claus. Santa Claus was the bomb. Santa Claus was the man. And he brought the gifts. Yep, that's what the world said. Santa Claus brings the gifts. So guess what? I was focused on that one man while these two people, my parents, were in the background getting my gifts, buying my gifts, hiding my gifts, right? And I'm thinking, it's Santa Claus. And Santa Claus got all the credit, right? So whether I got what I wanted or not, Santa Claus was the one. Oh, you didn't get that doll? Santa. Blame it on Santa. So why am I bringing that up? Because as you grow older, or as you grew and understood that it was the magic of Christmas. Yeah, there was a Santa at one time, but not anymore. I'm sorry. If you had kids, so I should have put a warning. So I'm going to put a warning down here. If you got kids, get them out of the room, okay? I didn't mean to spoil that for anyone. And I don't mean to put that down, but I'm trying to find an analogy that fits. And it's a good one because it was a fairy tale. And this scale, the one number that we're looking at, is a fairy tale. It's so primitive. The scales right now are so darn primitive. Do you know that they have scans now that will scan your body and tell you how much body fat you have? And so why is that important? That's what I'm sharing in this video, okay? So once again, back to the Santa. When you found out that it wasn't Santa anymore, it was the two parents or the one parent and some aunties, you knew it was some other people, more than just one. And that's how it is with this scale. So the scale's a liar because it's having us focus on the one number. The weight loss industry has us focused on the one frickin' number. That's a frickin' lie, okay? Do you know that there's other numbers that are always moving? So I'm going to explain. And the first time I did this video, when I held this up, of course it looked backwards. So I had to write this backwards. So your scale gives the total weight. It's the total weight of two numbers. Two numbers. So I'm going to share with you what those two numbers are. The first number is your lean mass. So what is lean mass? Lean mass is your bones, your muscle, and your organs, all in one. Now there's some sophisticated professional body composition measurement tools that they're used for professional athletes, and they're able to dissect everything and give you how much fat and muscle and bone is on one limb. But the average, person doesn't have access to those kind of scales. And so we're just stuck with this old stupid one that has digital. Stupid. At least it's digital. We see if we lose a half a pound, I'm happy. At least we're seeing something, right? So you've got your lean mass, and then here is the big one. You got your fat. So these two numbers right here, fat and lean mass, these are always moving. You're either losing fat or gaining fat, or losing muscle and gaining muscle. And regardless of what these two are doing, this one right here is the one we're all focused on. But this is a liar. So what do I mean by that? This number could stay the same, and you could be losing fat, which is good, but you don't see it. But you see inches. You could be losing lean mass, but you don't see it, and you're happy. But you don't lose a lot of inches. So it's the opposite. The weight loss industry has us focused on that one number because if it goes down fast, we're happy. If it goes down slow or not at all, we're pissed off. This diet ain't working. I'm mad at that coach. Camille, you ain't helping me. It's your fault I'm not losing. Really? Really? Let's look at our numbers. And that's what I teach. So I teach my clients, I teach my patients how to look at the other numbers. So just know that you have other numbers. So how will you find them out? Well, one way is to get a body composition scale. But Camille, they're not accurate. They're not accurate. That's what a friend told me. I said, well, get a body fat scale. They ain't accurate. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I'm going to break it down to you like I broke it down to them. First off, the gold standard of body fat measurement and lean mass measurement is called the DEXA. The DEXA is the gold standard because it's what the medical doctors, all of it. It's kind of like an MRI. So very, very, very similar. You lay on this platform, but instead of being in a tunnel, this thing goes around you. And it just and what it's doing, you know what it's doing? It's sending electrodes through your body, electricity, serious electricity, but different frequencies. So it's going back and forth. And it does this for a while, and it's able to determine the density or the heaviness of your muscle, your bone. And why that's important is because a lot of people have illnesses and they're losing their bone, especially if you reach a certain age or if you have a certain medical condition. So you'll get a DEXA, and the DEXA can determine if you're losing bone mass, and then they give you either extra vitamin D or whatever medication that's going to stimulate bone growth, especially for people that are prone to fractures, athletes, same thing. But it also gives you your fat. But they don't use it for fat so much. They use it for bone density. But that DEXA will also give you that information. And you can get a DEXA scan as often as you want. The problem is that they're expensive. Okay, so that's one way to find out those two numbers. All right. The second way to find out those two numbers is when you go to the gym. And usually they have what's called body fat analysis, and you hold it, and it gives you your BMI, and it gives you your body fat. Well, at least it gives you one of the two numbers, but the other one, you're like, well, how do I figure that out? Well, there's a ratio that you can do. There's a mathematical equation that you can do, and I can show people that, but the problem with that is that it's not as accurate because it's only using a few frequencies, like maybe one or two, I don't know, maybe one or two, where the DEXA is using hundreds of frequencies, and it's the gold standard. Well, maybe this one device is only using, let's just say 5, okay? So 5 frequencies going through your body. The only people that can't use them is if you have a pacemaker. So if you have a pacemaker or any electrical device inside your body implanted, you are not to use this because the electricity may set it off. And of course, you'll have a reaction you don't want to have. But at least it gives you a number. It gives you 1. It gives you the fat percent. My friend said, oh, well, body fat scale, whatever. They're not accurate. What about, the body fat? It's like a pincher. So it's a caliper. They call it the body fat caliper. And it kind of like you pinch certain parts of your body. But the problem is that you've got to pinch several places. And you really want someone else to do it. So you've got to have that same person doing it. Because the same person knows kind of where they pinched you the last. You get a new person, you get new pinches and new areas. You're supposed to do your back, your thighs, everywhere. The problem with that is, once again, you're getting one number, the fat percent. You're not getting your lean mass because you could be losing muscle. And then the third, of course, I always recommend this. Now, the next best thing is a professional medical device that's right under a DEXA. DEXA is the gold standard. DEXAs are extremely expensive. No one's going to have that in their medical practice, but they do have professional body fat analysis devices, and that's what I use with my patients. When I work with my private clients, I use the next best thing from that, and that is one of the best body fat scales. This one is not. This one is just one I picked up, but it's pretty consistent. And so whether you pick up a cheap one, an expensive one, at least you know your other numbers. And I teach people how to manipulate the numbers. How do you make the fat go down and the muscles stay the same? How do you do that? And I've worked with thousands of people, so I know what works and what doesn't. But everyone's different, and that requires the person to work with me. We have to work together as a team to find out what is customized to you. So even if you're vegan, you want to lose fat. Even if you're a vegetarian, you want to lose fat. Even if you are an animal protein eater, you want to lose fat only. Because you lose your muscle, your metabolism goes down, and that's what happens on diets. So why are there so many diets that say lose weight fast? Because Google analysis is able to determine how many people are searching for certain topics. And about 10,000 to 100,000 people are looking every day at how can I lose weight fast. That's in the weight loss industry, that's the biggest search term, the actual term, how to lose weight fast. And so manufacturers, companies, it doesn't matter. If I want to make some kind of, oh my God, this little stuff here. I want to make this stuff right here. It's going to make you lose weight fast. Because I saw on Google that 10,000 people are looking for this. So guess what? If you lose weight fast and they know nothing about what I just taught you, you are eating wrong. And when you lose weight fast, you're losing your muscle. You never lose fat that fast. You do, but it doesn't show on the scale that fast. So just think of the opposite. Think of the opposite. With all my life, I'm telling you the truth. Think opposite. It'll be the best thing you've ever done. Diet world has you starving. Fat loss world, you eat a lot. Diet world, I don't want to exercise. I hate that. Well, fat loss, you gotta do some work. You really do. But you be losing, oh my gosh, inches falling off. Really? You pinpoint everything right, everything just it actually kind of like the tortoise and the hare. You know that story where the hare jumps off real fast, almost winning, and then they go, I think I'll take a rest. That rest is like a big old plateau. While the turtle keeps going. That's how fat loss is. But you notice inches like a mug, okay? I had this one, so I have two patients I'll tell you about. One comes in, They were on a weight loss challenge at their job. That person lost 9 pounds. Guess where it all came from? Because it was fast, all muscle. He lost, out of the 9, 8 from muscle and 1 from fat. There was no, you couldn't look at him, you couldn't tell. He was like, you lost 9 pounds. Okay, we're smiling. Oh, you lost 9 pounds. We made a pact that when you get done with this little challenge at work, we're going to get that muscle back. The second patient, the first time, her first follow-up, lost a lot, happy as a lark, cheesing, smiling. Guess what? All of it came from muscle. In fact, it came so much from muscle that it made her gain some fat. I know. You would never have known that. Her fat percent went up in pounds. Like, she actually gained a couple pounds of fat. I'm like, and she had some inch loss, but not a lot. Comes in for the second follow-up. Only 3 pounds, like in 3 weeks. And well, I didn't lose that much. But she ended up, because I asked her to do something, she ended up gaining back the muscle that she lost in 3 weeks. Yeah, you can. One patient even told me, you can't gain muscle that fast. I'm like, so who's a professional here? But I didn't say that. I don't want to be rude. But that's what I deal with. Anyway, she gains back the muscle and loses all fat. In fact, she lost more fat. And that's how you can get smaller. So it's not about the number on the scale. Once again, they got us focusing on the wrong freaking number. It's not about the total number on the scale. It's about the fat percent. There's a young woman that her pictures were all over Instagram. And she started her weight loss journey at 183. And I think it was like after 4 months, 5 months, she was 180. So you would think, oh, she only lost 3 pounds. She failed. No, she didn't. Because when you saw the 183, I think it was over here, 183, and you saw the 180, you were like, how could that be? Because she needed to gain muscles. Most women need to gain muscle. That muscle is going to burn fat like a fireplace. Like a fireplace. You have energy. You don't crave as much sweets. You are vital. You look younger. You are a fat-burning machine. After I worked out with my celebrity trainer, I weighed more than my lowest weight ever in my life, but I wore the lowest weight of my life. I wore a size 8. The lowest weight that I was after for the People magazine, I was wearing a 2, but I weighed more than the number on the scale. So that's how it works. And when you're ready to accept the truth, if you heard this right here, you're ready. And what I'd like you to do, you can always purchase one. I'm putting some links down here. I don't want you to do anything, just think about that. But there are like hundreds of scales. One in particular, I'm going to put a link. I think there's 1,900 people that gave reviews, and out of the 1,900, most of them are 5s. It's a cheap scale too. But at least it'll give you some other numbers. I'll give you the name of the scale that I used. My trainer told me about one. I did buy it, but I didn't know how to use the numbers. You won't know how to either. You'll just get the scale, set it up, but you'll be looking at those 3 numbers, your total weight, your fat percent, and your lean mass, and you won't know what to do. And that's where I come in. I can be your coach. I can help you manipulate those numbers. In fact, I have a program called the Lean Body Principles. Lose fat, weight fast, secrets your doctor didn't have time to learn. The doctors don't know about this unless they work with me. Then they learn. And it's very informational because it teaches you all of this stuff. I'm giving you all my goods in this program. Very reasonable. In fact, I probably should be charging more for it. And I'm not trying to push it. I'm just saying that if you're ready and you really want to go that extra, you really want to learn the truth, you really want to get down to business, and you want to get serious, it's a great, great program. You download it, you purchase it. It's on ClickBank, which is very safe. It's hard to get stuff on ClickBank. You got to go through a whole scrutinizing. They went through my program with a fine-tooth comb, and they said, "Is she like legit?" In fact, they had me change my photos because my photos weren't as serious as what the program is about. They said, "Oh no, you don't use these photos. You need to do something more serious." And so they actually went through my program, and they said, "Oh wow, ooh, this is pretty good." And in fact, it's called Lean Body Principles, and I almost let that website go, and the guy goes, "You really want to let that name go? That name is really good." I'm like, okay, so it's really good. It's really legitimate. I've been using Lean Body Principles. I learned a lot of it from my own journey, a lot of it from the patients I've been working with. It's all experience, and it's all like research based. So it's not something I've just come up with at the top of the hat. This is stuff I've been working on, and I put my heart into it because I felt like people needed to hear the truth, and the truth will set you free. If you ever heard that and you believe it. Anyway, please subscribe to my channel. I promise to have a video every week, and I want to do one. This is the series called "Why Can I Lose Weight?" Why can't I lose? There's blocks, and I want to talk about those blocks, and we're going to get rid of them. We're going to kick them to the curb. I got blocks too. I had back surgery 3 years ago, and there's a block that's really holding me back. I know what the block is, and it's a legitimate block, but I'm ready to release it. And I had to release a few things in my life. And sometimes those things are hard to release. People, behaviors, habits, beliefs, all those things play into our blocks. And those are what I share. So blocks come into 3 categories: physical, mental, and spiritual. And my books aren't finished, but I'm going to talk about some of those things. And then I do have 3 series. There's 3 books. You can always get them later. But right now, I just want to share that. And if you do want to get Lean Body Principles program, once you get it, you'll be placed, if you want to, into a private Facebook group, and that's where I do the teaching. Okay? And on my website, fitrichandhappyinternational.com. So thank you for tuning in today. I hope you learned something. I sure had fun doing this video. I've taped it several times and kept making mistakes. But what's most important is you're stopping this stupid drama thing that the weight loss industry has you doing and me doing. It's over. And I'm so glad you're here. I love you, honestly, with all my heart. And please subscribe. Please share this video with everybody you know. And let them know that this scale is a liar. You got to make this scale your bitch. Okay, so I'm out. I love y'all. Bye.